chambers of the old government house. Actually, the Exco dwelt very extensively on security matters in the state. That took a lot of our time, particularly the issue of Ishelu, violent killings by suspected herdsmen, and there's renewed hostility. In Ishelu crisis, that is Ishelu violent killing of our people, Exco frowned very seriously at the killings at Egedege community in Ishelu local government area. You recall the governor had visited the scene yesterday and he had demanded in strong terms for justice for the victims. And this he informed the security agencies to be on their guard to ensure that they track and crack down on the perpetrators of those killings in the Egedege community in the local government area of Ebonyi state. The Exco also looked at the need to further strengthen security in all the local government areas, and therefore directed all the council chairmen to form a local vigilante, those that have not formed, those that have formed to strengthen their local government, their local vigilante, and put crossbars at strategic locations, especially in the night. Exco further directed that each local government should immediately deploy effectively at least 100 number neighborhood watch members per local government, so that they will help the security agencies in effectively policing the various communities. In Efiom and Ezefiom crisis, Exco noted the report presented and commended the efforts of government in establishing additional 2 mobile police units in the community, that is Efiom community. Exco also commended the state government in its effort in providing additional 600 number soldiers to the affected community. Exco also considered a report on the activities of the chairman of Ohaku local government area and all the elected and appointed officials from that particular area. That is Efiom and Efiom community. Exco frowned strongly at the actions and inactions of those elected and appointed public office holders from that community, which in the judgment of Exco was largely responsible for the crisis in that community. Exco therefore recommended to Ebonyi State House of Assembly that all elected and appointed officials from Efiom and Efiom, including the councillors from that community, the council chairman himself, and the Ebonyi State House of Assembly member from that community, be suspended from office. Is a recommendation from the Executive Council to the House of Assembly. Exco resolved to place dusk to dawn curfew in Efiom community with effect from today, that first day of March 2021, till normalcy returns to the place. Exco further resolved that anybody who sends false information or false alarm on the situation in that plagued community such a person shall be prosecuted. Exco, however, deliberated on other issues of financial approvals and approved a sum of 843 million naira for the first phase of earthwork and concreting of a section of the airport taxiway, which is a 1.3 kilometer section. Exco further approved the sum of 117 million for the internal partitioning of the international market. This is the summary of the deliberations of the State Executive Council of 31st day of March 2021. Thank you and God bless you. Let us still the local vigilante with their bare arms. It's yes or no. They are meant to police the communities in line with the existing law of the state. Yes, they will not bear the kind of arm that is only permitted for security agencies. But there are other forms of arms that they can bear, including machetes and all there is, for them to really assist. The key word is assist, through giving of information, through having their presence virtually everywhere in order to really track and crack down on criminals. Sometimes intelligence is even the best in security operations. It's even much more preventive and much more proactive than mere carrying of gun without intelligence. So what is important, which you have pointed out, is the fact that they will be trained. Training has long commenced. If you recall, you see a number of them having trainings in the urban cities and in part of the local government areas. And so that is what is much more critical. And as time goes on, you'll see that state government will update its laws on the issue of arm, and perhaps that will really, make them to really bear the kind of arm you are looking at. But for now, they have to comply with the existing law, and they have to also ensure that they give us the intelligence, the information that will lead to cracking down of criminals or criminal elements. Neighborhood watch. What was that your second question, Odo?
Okay, so that the neighborhood watch members are yet to be deployed after being trained for about 3 months ago. And whether they will just be watching at maybe security posts, watching.
Yeah, which I have answered.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
so
thank
the
you.
Deployment.
Deployment?
Yes, emphasis on the deployment of neighborhood watch.
That is the directive of Ebonyi State Executive Council today, which I have mentioned, that they are to be immediately deployed to ensure they help security agencies in policing our various communities through the provision of intelligence, information, cracking down or tracking, criminals and even potential criminals. Now, channels. Yeah, the experience, the Egedege experience. What efforts are we putting in place to ensure that this does not occur? More so when you still see herders going about with their cows in other communities. Yes, I have to emphasize that anybody doing his or her legitimate business in Ebonyi State is allowed. No matter where you may come from, whether you're a herdsman or whether you're a native, whether you're a non-native. Now, the essence of this strengthening of the security outfit, including the civilian security outfit, is to ensure that we monitor them in the farms, in the forests. Of course, they're not meant to go to our forests. We already have forest guards that are making sure that they are chased out of the forest. They can be in the different bushes, but not in the forest where you cannot control the activities. Now, if any of them commits any offense, as it were, certainly the duty of security agencies is to track and crack them. In this case, in the case of Egedege, government has directed security agencies to ensure that these perpetrators of these heinous crimes are tracked and brought to justice. And I'm sure that in no distant time you hear, the result of the action of the security agencies and, of course, our civilian security outfits. Yes, Nance, I feel with you on your concerns on how Southeast will further strengthen their security outfit. And you further suggested that we can adopt the Southwest system. Let it be emphasized that the Southwest has no regional security system. Let it be known that what they have is state-by-state security system with a common name. Being manned, the operational structure is still being handled by the state, not by anybody at the zonal level. And so there's nothing like regional or zonal security outfit. There's nothing. Under the Constitution, it's not permissible. It is ultra-vires. It's unconstitutional. And given the fact that we're a federating state, it is not possible. Perhaps for a governor to now give all the cost of funding security to one person, maybe one governor, out of the 5 governors in the South, it's not possible. The essence of this forum, Governors Forum, is to compare notes, is to have collaboration, cooperation, to have a kind of, reasoning amongst themselves on how best they can collaborate to police their various states. Besides that, no one particular person in the region does the operational work of controlling the entire security outfits. So we have to know that. But it is understandable that your concern is based on the raging security situation in the country. It is not only in the Southeast. It's not only in Ebonyi State. But come to talk of it, we have had other cases like this in other states. What is important is what government is doing to ensure that it does not reoccur. We want to assure you that government will do everything possible to ensure that this situation, very ugly as it were, does not reoccur. That does include, which you know, ensuring that we are in full control of the presence, the location, the profiling, and even the leadership of the herdsmen in all the communities of the state. Of course, we already have, leadership in each of the local government. We already have their list. And when anything like this happens, we also interface with them. We get them to ensure that perpetrators are brought to book. It must be noted, there is no place you cannot find criminals. There is no place you cannot find innocent persons or good citizens. It's everywhere. The issue of kidnapping did not start from the herdsmen, for instance. These are criminal issues that we need some aggressive measure to solve. We also need some holistic measure to solve. One of which is to create jobs, one of which is to bring some legislations that will help us to really police our communities. That government is doing responsibly and will do more in the years ahead. Can we take more questions?